If you need more support and connection, I invite you to check out faithfullygrowing.com/offerings. There you'll learn about the Faithfully Growing community and find one-on-one and group coaching offerings that may give you some of the support that you need. On another note, one of my primary values is to make IFS available to everyone. And so if you have the capacity to donate, you can make a tax-deductible donation at faithfullygrowing.com/donate. And every bit counts. Welcome to another episode of IFS Meditations and Insights, a podcast exploring personal growth through the lens of internal family systems. I'm Tim Fortescue, your guide on this journey, an IFS-trained practitioner dedicated to nurturing spiritual wholeness and healing. In this compassionate space, we delve into self-discovery, uncovering inner wisdom. And when we embrace all parts of ourselves with love, we can better receive divine love and extend it to others. My hope is that what I discuss here will illuminate your path, bringing you inner peace and a deeper connection to the sacred. Together, we'll learn how IFS gently transforms our relationship with ourselves and the world. So settle in, open up your heart and mind, and let's dive into another episode. And today I'm going to lead us in a meditation that can help us connect with parts that arise around trailheads or triggers or ways that we can become activated when we're out in a larger group context. Maybe it's in your family or in your church or community group or school or somewhere like that. So let's keep that in mind as we go in and check in with our parts today. And let's begin the meditation. And just begin settling into where you are. You can sit or lie down. Sometimes it's helpful to have your legs uncrossed. And you can close your eyes if you'd like to, but if that's weird or uncomfortable, just simply let your gaze rest softly in front of you and keep your eyes open. And take a couple more deep breaths to settle in at your own pace. And as you continue to settle in, just begin to notice your internal world. What's coming up, those thoughts, feelings, actions, impulses, beliefs. Just let your system know that we're just going to be curious for a moment, no agenda to make anything happen or not. Some of these parts may have been a while since they've been seen or heard, and we want to see them, allow them to see us for a bit. And it may be helpful to bring to mind a specific situation, like when you're with your family. And just let your parts know that we're going to go through a couple different scenarios and just see if they resonate with these. And if not, maybe there's something else in your mind. But just kind of think about your family culture and dynamics. Just see which parts you're noticing arising around that. Maybe there are parts that have been frustrated or hurt, not seen by others. And let them know they're welcome. We're creating kind of a healing circle here. And some may be more distrustful. Let them know that's okay too. They can participate as much or as little as they want. Just invite them to come and have a voice. And check in and see how you're feeling toward these parts that come up around family dynamics, and see if you can extend just a drop of curiosity, compassion to these parts. And just be with what you're noticing for a bit. Know that I encourage you to pause this recording as often as you need to. But when that feels complete, for now, just think those parts arising around family, dynamics, and culture. Thank them for their courage and as much or as little as they shared. And let them know this doesn't have to be the last time. You can spend more time with them if they'd like that. And they can hang around, see if they'd like to do that while we check in with some other areas, kind of in a broader community of where there may be some trailheads or points to get curious about. And just kind of journey in your mind and bring to awareness maybe a work community, or maybe it's a school community. See which parts you notice around that. Just be with those parts for a bit and see what they may want to share. Maybe they have questions. Maybe you have questions for them. Just check in, see if you can extend them just a little bit of sense of wanting to connect. Extend them some curiosity, sense of clarity. And some may be more trusting than others, and there's no pressure here. Remind them of that again, but just let them know that you're here. Spend a little time with those parts. And if you need more time, take all the time that you need. But when it feels complete for now with that section of parts that arise around work or school, and maybe your mind is going to another group that is different from what I'm naming, that's okay too. When it feels complete for now, just thank those parts for as much or as little as they shared. And invite those who would like to stick around in this healing circle to stay, and that they can do that. And that you can spend more time with them too. This doesn't have to be the last time. You can do that if they'd like that. And let those parts that may be saying, what about me? I'm not fitting into any of this, that know that we're going to check in with one more subgroup that I'm going to suggest. And then we'll leave some space for those parts that may be searching for belonging. So move on when it feels right and see what parts, those little, what some call sub-personalities, come to mind, because our minds are multiple when we think about the idea of a civic group. Maybe it's a church or synagogue, temple. Maybe it's some community club. But just see if there are parts that are arising when you hear me mention things like that. And just let those parts know that you see them. See if they can see you. See if you can extend them just a little bit of curiosity. Just spend some time. See what they may want to share. What you may want to share with them. Maybe there's some fears, concerns, but just sit and notice for just a bit. And again, pause if you need to. But when it feels complete for now, think those parts that arise around civic communities, like churches or synagogues, or maybe it's a civic group that you're a part of that triggers or brings up parts. And thank them for their courage, for as much or as little as they shared. Let them know this doesn't have to be the last time. You can spend more time with them if they'd like that. And those that want can hang around in this healing circle because they bring gifts. You need them. They need you. See if they can see other members of the team here. And then before we wrap up, let's move just one more time of silence for those parts that are saying, what about me? Or where do I fit here? And let's give some space. Let those parts know that their questions are valid, that you see them. Extend some of that curiosity and let them know that you want to know them if you can, and that they can ask you questions and get to know you. And those that are distrustful or resistant, let them know that they're valid too. They can just soften back if they would like. There's no pressure here. And just see what you notice in this next little bit with these, what about me? Where do I belong? Parts. Then when that feels complete for now, just thank those parts for their courage and as much or as little as they share. Just like the others, that this doesn't have to be the last time that they spend time with you. It may have been a while, but you can do this again if it feels right for you, and let them know that you'd like that, if they'd like that. And see which one of those just want to hang here, the circle. Just look around. See the parts of you that are gathered here that doing the best they can. They bring gifts. Maybe carrying a load or burdens that may be the first time that they realize that they're not alone. They don't have to carry these, and there's hope. They've got you, you've got them. And just see if you could breathe out just kind of that, just a ripple effects of compassion, curiosity, sense of connectedness and calm. Throw in some other C words or other words that may be helpful. Peace, spaciousness, love. Just see if your parts could take that in. And just kind of in breathing out, they're giving you some space, but breathing in, they're tethered through that curiosity, compassion, those words that we just mentioned. They belong. But they're not alone. Got a team here, and a team of others in these communities that may have trailheads and triggers and family or school, church, that there are other human beings there that they also have parts. And see if we could just send some understanding and compassion to those in the world too, as we go out with this sense of hopefully a little more groundedness and spaciousness. Just thank your whole system again for its courage, for as much or as little as they were able to share, all of those parts. And thank you so much for joining me for this meditation. See if you could take some of this calmness that you may experience now with those out in the broader community. Take care. Well, that wraps up another episode of IFS Meditations and Insights. I hope you found today's episode helpful. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you'd share it with anyone else who you think might benefit. Additionally, please leave a positive review. This helps new listeners find the podcast. And if you want more wisdom and meditations, head to my website, blog.faithfullygrowing.com. There you can find a categorized list of IFS meditations and insights, and it's completely free. Finally, I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback of the podcast. Feel free to reach out anytime by emailing me at tim@faithfullygrowing.com. But thanks again for listening and for your courage and being part of this community. And remember to approach yourself and others with compassion. We're all doing the best we can with the tools we have. I look forward to our next time together. And until then, take good care of yourself. Stay curious if you can. And try to welcome all the parts that you encounter on your journey.